Hello everybody, I'm Ayag.adu and welcome to Goof Troop Central. Welcome to Goofy Review Friday, and today we're going to be reviewing One Late Night. Yes, it's that indie horror game that I got so annoyed by so many times. But first, let's hear a little word from the developer. One Late Night is a short immersive horror game experience starring an unnamed graphic designer employee, that's me, working late one night at the office until strange things start to happen. The basic idea is that players who have been in similar situations and work with similar office jobs will relate themselves to the game's setting and scenario and become immersed. Even if you can't relate to the game's storyline, you will still get a good experience. The storyline is presented with short monologues displaying the thoughts of the player as you need to perform certain tasks to proceed in the game. Yeah, exactly. To continue discovering new clues about what's going on. Alright, this is One Late Night. And it was recently updated on 1/29/13, so it's from 2013, and it was developed by Black Curtain Studios. Alright, well, studio. I need to be more specific than that. Alright, now then, let's get started on our review. You already know the gist of it if you saw my last video. I'm going to be talking about gameplay, immersion, graphics, story, jump scares, music ambience, environment, and the final conclusion. This is going to be a good review. Okay, so let's start with gameplay. Gameplay-wise, the game runs... the gameplay is okay. It's really just okay. The guy's slow, but you're just in this little area, so it makes sense. You know, you're walking around. You got a sprint feature, which is nice. It kind of speeds things up again. But it was running so bad for my computer, even at the lowest settings, that it just, like, broke everything that made the game what it could be for me. It just, like, my guy... And even when I tried to, like, hide... Just hiding was hard because, like, you gotta, like, angle at these weird hiding spots and press a button, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't always work. Just trying to open up things was even annoying. Picking up things was even annoying. It was just, like, ridiculous how that worked, and even the movement system didn't even go very well. I despise the movement system in that game. I didn't feel like I was walking around. I felt like I was freaking holding a giant weight on my shoulder and trying to walk around, and all of it's been like, gotta get away from the ghost. Gotta get away from the ghost. It's like, dude. But I mean, okay, it's probably not that bad, but he was pretty slow. But the gameplay, you know, picking up items like usual, and they tried to change it a little bit by using flashlights to fight off a ghost, and also trying to use even candles to fight them off, which only happened like twice, and also, like I said, pick up objects, which I'll be talking about actually, I'll talk about it now, actually. It was annoying. The gameplay was freaking annoying. I didn't know what I was doing half the time. I was just like wandering around, trying to figure out what to do, what to find, and there were the placements of things and what I needed to do to even progress in the story was not even obvious. I mean, some parts were, but the way things happened was just freaking irritating. I was just wandering around for like 10, 15, even 20 minutes just looking for this specific thing, and the game wouldn't even help me find it because I don't know my own office and where things are placed. How am I supposed to know that? So the gameplay was freaking annoying. That's all I can say. Alright, let's get on to immersion. Immersion... I'm sorry. The game freaking stressed me out. It was so freaking... Okay, so the immersion of the game was... I mean, it wasn't terrible immersion. It was actually decent immersion enough. I mean, it worked. It really did work. But it just, because of the gameplay, like I said, I mean, the monster wasn't even that bad until it got stuck. It's hilarious. But the immersion was just, it wasn't scary enough. It wasn't horrifying enough. It just, I did feel like I was in an office, but when I just started moving around and everything after like the first 5-10 minutes, I just felt like I was trying to like freaking do like looking for like a needle in a haystack the whole time. It just broke the whole game's immersion, just trying to figure out what the hell to do. And when I finally did figure out what to do, that's when things got a little better, until they didn't. So yeah, immersion to the game wasn't that great. I did not feel immersed at all. But I guess we can talk about immersion due to the graphics. So the graphics of the game were pretty good. I actually did like the graphics, oddly enough. The graphics were actually pretty good. I mean, my computer couldn't run it though very well, which was stupid. And they need to fix that, because if I'm going to play a game that is going to have at least relatively decent graphics, I gotta make sure that the game I play at least goes to a setting that my computer can even run. That way everybody can play the game at the highest setting or the lowest setting. And the way the graphics worked were, like I said, pretty good, but my computer, as you saw if you saw my videos, it was running so slow even for me. And I did not enjoy that. I don't even think any of you enjoyed it. It wasn't that bad, but the frames per second just... But yeah, graphics, not bad, not bad. Story. As we already said, you are an office worker, and you are trying to figure out what's going on. Basically, you get a call, you're there at late night, strange things are going on. You have this friend next door called Robert who knows what's going on with this weird ghost person who's showing up and haunting the place. And you even learn that the person might even was like his great-great-grandmother, and why she's even there in the first place haunting everything. She's like this creature that is there when this certain song plays and then appears out of literally nowhere and then plans to, like, I guess... I never figured out what the ghost was doing. She sort of just like hovered over and then touched me and then I died. But I don't know. But it was okay. The story was okay. What I said was it's actually a really good concept how the story plays out. It really was. But it was okay. It wasn't presented well. There wasn't enough dialogue and detail on what was really happening. And that's what broke it. There wasn't enough real story. There wasn't. I just felt like I was walking around and it was stupid. Anyway, let's go to jump scares. There was only literally one jump scare in the whole game, and that jump scare is when the ghost shows up. So, one point when the jump scares, she'll come in over, turn around, and it'll get super close to her, or sometimes she'll be close to you and just, I guess, even like grab you or something, and that's the other one. The jump scare was, I mean, the one with just seeing her was okay. There were actually, no, there wasn't just one. There were a couple jump scares, and some of them were pretty good, but most of the time, she was not really that scary at all. The monster was not really that, the ghost wasn't really that scary at all. And it just, I don't know, but it was okay, but it wasn't that scary to me. Just only like a few good jump scares here and there, but it was nothing like how I said it vanished. Nothing at all. Okay, music and ambience. The ambience were fine. They were realistic. The music, also good. So I would have to say that the music and ambience were pretty good, but I never felt truly immersed by it. But they were decent. They were fine. They were okay. They worked for the place we were working at and all that. So it was okay. It was just okay. Okay, next, environment, which I was going to bring up next. The environment was... the environment was terrible. it made sense, but it was terrible. It was just going back and forth and back and forth. The environment did not work well. It made sense, but it didn't work. They even tried changing up and making the place darker, and even that didn't work. So, yeah, the environment was meh. It was just meh. It wasn't enough. There wasn't enough of true in-depth environment that could have made it super immersive. Alright, so finally, we come down to the final stretch. The conclusion. And what I will rate this game to anybody who wants to also play this game is I'm gonna give it... What am I gonna rate this game? I'm gonna rate it a 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10. It's just in that middle ground. It's not a horrible game how I'm making it sound. It actually is a good game once you know how it works and everything. And it does have a story. It can be immersive. It can be really fun. But if you're someone who gets annoyed by just searching around for objects that you don't even know where they might even be, it just breaks the whole concept of the game. But it actually had so much potential in it. And that's what made it actually good, because it can have a lot of potential. Heck, they even have a sequel called One Late Night Deadline. But even that, somehow, I've heard, isn't as good as it could be. And I don't know why. They could have done so much. It could be super great. Maybe or not. Maybe I just heard the red comments and stuff about that new game, so maybe it's better. But that one costs money. This one's free. So, of course, the free one won't be as good. But you would expect at least the one that costs money, which is $10, and is getting some reason negative reviews, to be at least a lot better. So, yeah, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. I actually did like playing the game near the end because it started changing things up. But it wasn't that great a game. It wasn't that amazing a game. It was just average. Just average. It's just in the middle ground. And I do recommend anyone to play it themselves. I really do. It is a game that you might still like if you enjoyed the concept of it. Alright. That ends our review for this Friday. And I will be doing others soon enough. Sorry I might have really punched this game, but this game freaking annoyed the heck out of me. But again, it's not bad, and I really do think you should play it because it is free. So anyway, if you guys enjoyed this episode, remember to leave a like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, your family, your pets, your gods, everyone you love, everyone you know about. And remember to stay goofy, and I'll see you next time. Bye! 'Cause Grandma's coming to get you.